I'm Master Saturn. Thank you for joining me for another BDSM United podcast. So it's been a while since we have come out with a new episode of our podcast. And in the meantime, we've written several books. Now, we've been writing things down for over 12 years. We have a lot of material that came from things like whips, chains, and duct tape, and came from just some of our group writings. We have a BDSM education group that we've had for a number of years. And so we have a bunch of different writings, and we compiled those along with some of our personal research and study to come up with several books that combine the esoteric and combine BDSM. Combine those two together in what we call Saturnian Sex Magick. And we're going to be actually covering our first book for the next several episodes, which is called Saturnian Sex Magick. And you can run over to www.bdsmunited.com. You can click on the little bookshelf looking thing, and you can go to Amazon and you can purchase either in Kindle, which is like a digital format, or you can purchase them in paperback, any of our books. And so we appreciate that if you do that. Actually, a few of them have actually already been pirated, so you may find them online for free. You just got to look around, but not so far Saturnian Sex Magick. To grasp Saturn's meaning, reading from our book here, you have to look beyond the planet itself into the archetypal territory it occupies in the human mind. See, in astrology, Saturn is often called the great teacher or the lord of karma, the one who brings the hard lessons that can't be dodged or avoided. Sounds a lot like a Dom or a master in BDSM. These aren't the gentle nudges or the easy wins. They're the tests that force us to grow up, to bear discomfort, to build something that lasts. Saturn's lessons are the ones that shape character. It's the discipline to keep showing up, the willingness to take ownership, the patience to endure when the going gets tough. And as a personal devotee of Saturn, I have to walk the talk. I can't just talk about discipline and self discipline. I actually have to apply discipline to my life, because you can't write about something not truthfully, not honestly. You can't write about something that you're not really living yourself. I don't aspire to be a hypocrite in any sense of the word. And so I want to walk the talk. I'm not just a nominal devotee of Saturn. I want to be the best devotee of Saturn that I can be. Saturn is the spirit of order and design, the architect who draws the blueprint, the judge who upholds the law, the elder who insists that tradition has value. Saturn's is the voice that says, not yet, slow down, do it right, lay the foundation first, respect the process. In a culture that's obsessed with shortcuts, with instant gratification, Saturn stands as a necessary counterweight, a reminder that depth and meaning are not found in what comes easily, but in what is earned through effort and time. And nowhere is this Saturnian current more visible than in our world, the world of BDSM, the world of bondage, of discipline, and of sadomasochism. Discipline is the backbone, not just the physical implements like whips and canes and floggers and those types of things, but the deeper discipline of self-control, mutual respect, and ritual. The entire structure of BDSM practice, from negotiation and contracts to safe words and aftercare, all of those things echoes Saturn's insistence on boundaries and framework. Paradoxically, it is within this carefully constructed container that the wildest freedom becomes possible. The rules don't stifle, they create a playground where trust can flourish, where risks can be taken, and where both pleasure and healing can unfold in ways that chaos could never allow. And so a lot of people find that. A lot of people that find a freedom, a liberation in dominance and submission. They find they find pleasure and freedom in the world of BDSM. Saturn's mythology is as layered as its rings, rich with contradiction and power. Now, in Roman lore, let's drop a little bit of history here. Saturn is both the god of time, Kronos, and of agriculture, embodying the cycles of creation and destruction. He is remembered of the devourer as the devourer of his own offspring, a symbol of time that consumes all things. Now we hear stories and they sound awful sometimes in these myths, in the mythology, but they are metaphors for something greater. They're not just a story about somebody saying, devouring his own kids. It's a symbol of time that consumes all things, but Saturn is also remembered as the ruler of the golden age, a mythical era of peace, abundance, and justice. This duality, Saturn as both boundary and breakthrough, as both obstacle and source of wisdom, it lies at the core of its archetypal force. Saturn reminds us that limits aren't prisons, they're invitations to depth. When we meet a boundary, we can choose to rebel and suffer or to engage and transform. It's totally true in BDSM because boundaries are not mere formalities, they're the sacred ground on which everything rests. The negotiation of limits. It's not just paperwork, it's an act of building trust and building connection, the foundation for what is to come, which is vulnerability and intensity. There's really a lot of connection that's built through negotiation, through those discussions of talking about and establishing limits and boundaries. The power dynamics in BDSM, the intricate dance of dominance and submission, of controlling and surrendering, those mirror Saturn's mythic identity as both authority and challenger. The dominant often embodies Saturn's structure and order, creating the space for the submissive surrender. But the submissive too channels Saturn in accepting discipline, in choosing trust, in finding liberation within the frame of containment. Both partners, in their own ways, enter a Saturnian pact, a covenant of honesty, responsibility, and care. Now, sometimes people have trouble with boundaries. Oftentimes, it's easy to see boundaries as like prisons or boundaries in a negative sense. But think of our skin as a boundary that keeps disease out of our bloodstream, keeps disease out of our organs. And it's also a boundary, it's a container. It keeps all of our organs into our body. It keeps all of our bones within our body. Think of the puddle of mess we would be without skin. Skin is actually the largest organ in the whole body. We have more skin than we have any other size organ, and it is a boundary. It keeps us within our own self. It also houses the skin. Also houses our brain. It houses our mind, our soul, our spirit. And while we can sometimes transcend through like our aura or transcend through the exchange of energy and moving energy, and also through transcending into the astral realm, the realm beyond the physical plane. While we can extend beyond those, much of who we are is housed in the boundary of our skin. Just something to think about. Boundaries can be limiting, sure. They can be sometimes daunting, sure, but they also are helpful. Boundaries are also safe, and boundaries are also necessary. A lot can be contained within a boundary in a positive sense. In a world conditioned to expect everything now, Saturn teaches the lost art of patience, of waiting, of enduring, and trusting in the long arc of transformation. In BDSM, patience isn't a punishment, it's a gift, a method, a source of anticipation and pleasure. Scenes may unfold over extended periods. The buildup, the slow increase in tension, the lingering, the between moments all become as important as the climax itself. Saturn's patience, it isn't passive. It's a form of devotion, an investment of time, care, attention into something that can only bloom with care. Endurance, too, is a Saturnian virtue. It isn't just about the body's capacity to withstand sensation, though that's part of it. It's about the mental and emotional fortitude required to hold a role, to maintain focus, to ride the waves of feeling without losing the container. Both dominant and submissive must cultivate this endurance, which becomes the soil where real transformation can take root. When that endurance is coupled with compassion and care, the results can be cathartic, even transcendent. So, Saturn is an important part, an important archetype within BDSM. And we like to think of Saturn, and we are teaching Saturn as the patron of BDSM. And that BDSM in itself is Saturnian sex magic. It is sex magic. It's not just sexual, it's more than sexual, but it's sex magic. It's that intimacy and that magical connection that is formed together. And in those intentions, we can both transform our own lives and transform our circumstances that we find ourselves in. Just an example of that is when somebody comes to live in a relationship with someone else as a submissive. A lot of times that transformation can spill out into their everyday life. Something that, that satisfaction that they find in finding a partner that they can submit to actually opens them up and allows them to grow and to become a better person in the world that they're living in. The same is true with a dominant person. Someone who comes to fulfill a dominant identity can then have the confidence a lot of times to go out into the world and to build other things and to dominate other areas of life as well. And so that is just an example of what we consider Saturnian sex magic. We will discuss more about our book, Saturnian Sex Magick, and more about what this is and why Saturn is so important. And as the episodes go on, as we continue this podcast going forward, we'll discuss some of our other books. We have books on primal play and bratting. We have books on female-led relationships, on Hecate and the Dark Dame. We have books on establishing the art of dominance. We have other books as well, all in line with elemental BDSM. We have a Kabbalistic BDSM book, just a whole bunch of applying BDSM into areas of magic and marrying the two together. It's really beautiful, and we're really privileged to bring books out that nobody's looking for. No one's looking for a book on Saturn and sex magic together, or it's a niche within a niche. And so a lot of people just don't even know yet how important this work is. But we hope to highlight it in our podcast and in future episodes. I am Master Saturn. Thank you for joining me for this BDSM United podcast. Again, be sure to check out www.bdsmunited.com and find our books on there and other podcasts and ways that you can engage with us through social medias.